All right, everybody, are you ready for a brand new DC update? And we've got some big news in regards to Superman Legacy and some of the casting. Supposedly, the short list of the characters or the actors who are going to possibly portray Superman has been revealed. And we're going to take a look at the three guys that they have chosen, supposedly. And we're also going to look at the person that they're looking at and eyeballing to play Lex Luthor. But we have plenty of stuff to look at today, so let's jump in. And if you haven't, I always forget to mention this. I mention it at the end. But if you guys like these videos, it is very important on YouTube to like the video. If you like the video and it gets engagement, they're going to share it to more people. So if you want to help my channel grow and you like the content I bring you, please like the videos. It takes just a half a second to click that like button and it will get sent out to more people, and it helps my channel out tremendously to help continue to bring you guys content. All right, so if you're so inclined, also hit the subscribe button so you will be notified as I have new videos go up. All right, so let's take a look at some of these pictures here today. All right, so the first picture I have here is from the Wrap, and it says, Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders barely approved David Zaslav's $39 million pay package, a signal that they are not happy. All right, I talked about this last time. The shareholders are not happy because the only place they're making a profit is on HBO Max. Everywhere else, they're losing money. I've talked about this in several videos. They did lose like $1.2 billion in the last quarter. So things are not looking good for Warner Brothers Discovery. And in fact, I think they are probably going to get prepped for a sale. So we may never see some of the stuff coming up actually come to fruition. But we will find out shortly here over the next couple of years. All right, so some people had reached out to me to let me know that Gotham Knights has already been... It had been axed after one season. And I won't even watch it. It's not my cup of tea. It's not, there was nothing about that show that looked good to begin with. I don't even know how it got greenlit. Those trailers, the two trailers that I saw for the show were some of the worst trailers I have ever seen for any TV show. It was awful. But it says, Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights are reportedly not expected to continue amid the CW's latest cancellations. I've already heard that Gotham Knights was canceled. Superman and Lois, though, may have to find a new home. So they follow this up later with Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly considering moving Superman and Lois to HBO Max if the DC series is dropped by the CW after Season 3. I do expect it to be axed. I don't think CW will pick it up, and I think it deserves to go on HBO Max. We're already paying for it. It would be nice to have some exclusive DC content on HBO Max, especially since they're getting rid of, the Teen Titans show, which this year has been the best season so far, which is nice to see after they fumbled Season 3 so horribly. Season 3 was just off the charts awful. But Superman and Lois seems to be continuing with the content and delivering a great story. And I like her as Lois. I like him as Superman. I think they both do a really good job. The production value on this show is definitely higher than anything else that they are doing on the CW. Now, this cracked me up. And I'm going to give you two possible scenarios, and neither of these is good on this point. So this is going to be the hate James Gunn part of this video. It said at one point, James Gunn was consulting on the entire MCU. Kevin Feige would send me the script for Spider-Man, and I'd give my notes. He'd send me the script for Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and I'd give notes on all of those scripts. I don't think this makes him look as good as he thinks it does. Now, this is, again, the narcissistic side of James Gunn coming out. And this, when I saw this, I just about lost it. Because the only movie in there that was good was Spider-Man, and I'd like to see what those notes were. Because I'll tell you what, the last Doctor Strange, and especially Captain Marvel, those were not good movies. And if he is trying to show this as he's the guy, this is not helping his image in any way, shape, or form, because the MCU is on a downward spiral. Now, it does look like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to hold up pretty well in its second weekend, which is good. It's going to be a rare win for the MCU at this point if that does follow through on the weekend. We'll see. It is Mother's Day weekend, and we'll see if people are actually going to the movies with their family or not. But this does not make him look as good as he thinks it does, because I just don't see why he would say this. Again, I think this is the narcissistic side of him coming out, because who's going to corroborate this? And I'd love to see what those notes were to find out if his suggestions were any good or not, because I still don't think he's the guy everyone claims he is or is hoping he's going to be. All right, now here's the person that it looks like they've chosen to be Lex Luthor, or are looking at for Lex Luthor. This is from the AV Club, which is a pretty solid source. And it says, meanwhile, James Gunn declares only one person has been cast in Superman Legacy, and it isn't any of the regular players in the Superman world. Now, this is James Gunn kind of refuting this rumor, I guess, in a way. It says, rumor mill spits out Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor for our Saturday pleasure, from the AV Club. But James Gunn is saying that only one person. He's not well, they're not even saying it's a guy. One person has been cast, and it's not a regular. So you'd have to envision this guy bald. I guess he could have that look, but you could take this with a grain of salt, because nothing has been revealed just yet, which is going to lead us to the biggest part of this video: Superman himself. Let's take a look at the possible options. So here's the first one. It says David Cornwell is reportedly a top contender to play DCU's new Superman in James Gunn's Superman Legacy. The full short list of other actors is here. We're going to take a look at this. There are 3 individuals. First of all, I do not like the look of this guy. I don't see him as Superman. I really don't. I hope it's not him. The next 2 guys I could see as possible candidates, but not him. So like I said, he is David Cornsweat. I thought it was Cornsweat. Cornsweat is probably, looks like one of their top 3 choices. Number 2 is this guy here, Tom Brittney. And out of all of the guys, this is the guy I would choose to be Superman if you're basing it off of looks. And his eyes aren't as blue as they should be, but he definitely has the face and the look, and he kind of looks like a younger Henry Cavill, which I think is very interesting. Let's take a look at the third option. The third option is this guy here, Andrew Richardson. Now, I could possibly see him. Now, if you take out his long hair and you take off the mustache and the beard, he actually looks a lot like Henry Cavill. So again, he's another guy that could possibly do it. Like I said, you'd have to ignore his super long hair, but he definitely has a younger look of Henry Cavill as well. So I think he even looks more so than the last guy. But I do think the last guy would definitely have a more universal look of Superman than this individual right here. All right, so there's the DC update for the day. There's lots of things going on behind the scenes. They're still casting for Superman Legacy. They are getting things put in place, even though they have the writer strike going. And like I said, here in about 2.5 weeks, the actors are going to join in. I talked about that. You heard it here first, that actors are going to join in unless there's a miracle that happens. And they do have to wait at least 90 days so that all their contracts become null and void, so that they can actually, one of 2 things will happen at that stage. It's going to be either Armageddon and all of Hollywood is going to blow up, or each one of those individuals will get a new contract that does state that they will only sign if they get more money for the streaming services and the writing they're doing for those streaming services, which they do deserve. I don't care what medium it's on. Those people writing those should get their fair share, and it should be comparable to what they're doing in other areas. And so hopefully they can get that worked out so Hollywood can get back on track. Because if they don't get moving on some of this stuff, next summer is not going to be good for films, and it's already not for DC. It's not going to be for DC to begin with, because the only thing scheduled to come out next year is Joker 2. And who knows if that's going to be any good. If it is a musical like they're saying, I'm not interested in that. I don't mind if there's a musical number or two in it because what's her name is playing, Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn, but I don't want the whole thing to be a musical. I don't want 4 or 5 different numbers in there. I think that would undermine what made the first one great. And so we'll see where that ends up. But we don't have a whole lot else going on. We're going to be hearing lots of rumors about Superman Legacy, and I will be bringing those videos, and we'll be talking about all this stuff going forward. Again, I do appreciate the support. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You will be notified as I have new videos go up. We will see you on the next video.